Hello everyone, welcome to part 2 of the Metal Build Crossbone Gundam X-1 review. So in this part, I will be talking about the accessories that it came with. So particularly the weapons, the beam effects, and the capes that come with it. I decided to split this review into two because the Crossbone is a very full of gimmick and accessories figures. So splitting it into two is a better decision, I would say. So first, let's take a look at the first most important accessories, which is the core fighter. This is a core fighter for the Crossbone Gundams. So here you can see the cockpit is actually a clear gray piece. All these golden engravings is really nice. Thrusters is painted with a copper color, bronze color, so it gives a really nice feel, and all the inner details are all metallic painted, so that's a really nice touch. So here on this these thrusters parts can move individually like that. The thrusters nozzles can move like that, and the whole thing can drop down here, up and down here, so that when you insert it into the Gundams, it can rest down the thrusters like that. And and here you can see the two small joints to put the beam sabers in. So let me take out the beam sabers handles. So here's one of the beam sabers handles that it came with, and to insert it, you simply just find the right angle and slot it in like that pretty easily. Let's do the same with the other one. There we go. And it's in nicely and snugly. So to combine the core fighter with the Gundam itself, you just need to pull this thing down, and in the back there's a hollow place to put it in. So first you need to pull the beam sabers handles up and slot it in these two holes like here, and just push it in just like that, and here you go. This is the Crossbone Gundams. Oops, the V-fin fell off. This is the Crossbone Gundam with the core fighter attached. Looks pretty great on its own, and of course you can deploy the backpack like that, which looks really cool. Like that. Let's move on to the next accessories. That's which is all little Billy here. So Billy is said to be a recon tools kind of thing, and it actually got a little bit of a articulation in it as well. So at the base of the wings, there's a ball joint at the base of the wing, and flap up and down on the wings itself, so you can rotate the wings, flap it up and down. The tails can go up and down at will. the this part of the bird, the leg of the bird can go individually up and down. It needs to go up and down individually, and a little bit of a side to side as well. So it's a really nice thing to have. And this Billy can rest on the shoulders of the Gundam thanks to a adapter pieces that is included. So there are two types of connector for that. So this is the two pieces of the connector for Billy. So one of the pieces is for the cape mode, and the other pieces is for the non-cape mode. So you can have him standing on his shoulders in any situation. So just follow the instructions and put it on his shoulders, which is pretty easy to do. And I think it's a nice touch of Bandai to include something new for the Metal Build. So next is the dagger. This one is supposed to go on to the sole of his feet, so there's a small slot in here, as you can see, and just slot the knife in there very easily. So now you can do a knife kick, which is pretty deadly. And at the back of the knee, there you can see a small hinge right here. Just flip it down, and you can reveal the handle for the knife itself if you wanted to hold the knife with the hands instead of on the legs. So just pull out the knife handle, put the knife in, and that's done. Very easy. And if you fancy it the other way, just slot it right back in. Make sure to get the orientation right. There you go, good as new. So it comes with two knives, so you can do a double blade kick on the arms and on the feet if you like. Next is the sword. Here we go. So here's one of the beam effect for the sword. It's pretty straightforward. You just slot it in here, and that's basically it. If you don't want to just replace it with another sword effect, and that's that. Pretty easy. Next one is the beam gun. I really like the aesthetic of Crossbone's accessories because it was got these different shades of gold, and the style it made looks really, premium and such. And the swords and the guns can actually combine to in order to fire a better, stronger shot. So to do that, just need to pull this part up, get the handle down to reveal the connector right here for the sword. Just need to push this part up, and you will reveal a hole, a small hole, and just push these two together, just like so. And there's another part for the nozzle. This one right here. You will see. Oops. And it's pretty easy, just slot it in like that, and we will get a bigger nozzle for that. So this weapons is pretty nice. The concept isn't that, you know, far out. It's not like it's the first time this kind of weapons has been seen, but it's the first time I saw it on a pirate, so that's a really nice touch. The designer for the crossbones really want the crossbones to have like a shit tons of weapons and combinations for him as well, so I can't really complain about that. Another accessory is a separate head for the Crossbones Gundam. To show you the difference between these and that. Just be careful when you take out the head, because it I'd say just take out the V-fin first, like that, and pull the head out so it's more easier and less prone to breaking. So here's the two heads. You can see the difference is one of them has a non-gimmick mouth. This one mouth has a slit to do the full release, like the high mobility systems that most of the crossbone suits and like the F91 has, where basically it opens the mouth, dissipate heat, and move into a high performance mode. So right here you can open the mouth like that, and to close it just simply push it a little bit and it will close. Another part that Bandai really worked nicely on is they actually give us two face for this figure. To do that, you just need to take out two V-fins. So two V-fins, one of them is the normal one. One of them has an eye patch on. So like that's really cool features. So you can choose to either have the eye patch on the normal head or the gimmick head and vice versa. So basically with these two extra accessories you can have 4 combinations of the head, which basically can choose, mix and match to get what you want. Let's wait a minute for me to reinstall it in here. Good. Another weapons is the brand on the forearm. So to deploy the brand, first just need to curve the wrist in, then deploy this like that. Pretty straightforward. And you can take the beam effect parts like that and put it on like so. And if you don't like the attack options for this, you can also put the shield on. So this is the beam shield. Just be careful because it's very spiky and very thin. So just careful not to break it or hurt yourself. Like so. And that will be the beam shield. The beam shield is generally used when it's in normal mode. Like when it's in normal mode, but you know, it's up to you to use it however you like. Another one of the accessories. Yeah, this guy has a lot of accessories. Here's the chains. So they came with 2 chains, both the same length. To use the change, you will need to wiggle out the front skirts. Open up the 2 things out here, 2 hooks out here, like so. And connect the 2 ends to the chains, just like that. Just like that, and put the other end onto the hips connector. And here you got the chains option. So this chain can hold the beam saber weapons as well. So in order to hold the swords, the beam swords, you need the clear piece that comes with it, the clear adapters, which you simply need to block the swords in carefully, just like that, and the hook on the other way, like that, and it will look as though it is holding it, which I guess it does the job, you know, quite well enough. So with this, it will look like it's firing the anchor. To with the swords on one end. That's why I said this figure has lots of supporting accessories that come with it, and it's really nice that they include all of these. And to play with it, it's gonna take quite a lot of time. So you probably won't be getting bored of it anytime soon. Okay. So all of that is the non-cape accessories that it comes with. So right now let's come to the most important accessories of the Crossbone Gundam. Which is the ABC mantle, anti-beam coating mantle. So this piece of cloth, this is real cloth. It is a little thin. It's basically like the cloth that comes with your glasses in the box to clean your lenses. It's basically the same as that. It feels pretty okay, very smooth, but a little bit too thin for me. And it's already got holes in it. I don't know if each one is got different holes on it or so, but yeah, if that is, I guess each one should have different holes on it. So the cape actually has 2 points of articulations only, which is this part here that you have to assemble when you open it. So each part, this is a ball joint. and this one connects to this part here like a ball joint as well. So you can pretty much do whatever you would like to these ones. Unfortunately, this part is only for the front of the Gundam, so not much possibility on the back. So let's install that on here. Simply just pull this one out and replace it with these parts. This one here goes to the front. Before that, you need to close down the thrusters. It's just for easier to install these ones because it's really troublesome. So you see there is three big holes. So the middle one is for the head, and these two parts is for the arms, the shoulders. Here we go. Pull it over and put the thing on. The chest. So this is one of the pieces that is used to connect the cape to the shoulders. Just like I have another one pre-installed on here. So what you need to do is there's a slot here on the shoulder itself. Just need to push this part onto that to secure the cape in place. So basically that's how you install the capes on here, and you connect these two joints parts on this. Now you can see that it's already got the cape on, which it looks really nice from front to back as well. And you can use these parts to pose it, so you can do some, a little bit of a dynamic pose on the air with the Gundam itself. Just put it a little bit far away, just like that. Doesn't look really bad for me. So if you, in case you want to do a little bit of a back posing, I suggest you can try putting the core fighter parts on and use the thrusters to help you move the cape, but it's gonna be a little bit hard because it's easily collapsed back in. But if you're careful, you can get it to stand up and use the various settings on the back, like just adjust these two ones to get the cape into the position that you want. So it's gonna take a little bit of getting used to, but it should be able to do that. So one downside of the cape that I think it has is these parts right there. So this one is just to install it on the cape for the gold looking outside. Does absolutely nothing, and it also like drags the cape down and makes it harder to pose. So if possible, you don't need to install those parts. You just need to install the two flap, which is probably the most important ones on this on the cape. So with the cape, so with those two flaps, you can pretty much do all the things that you need from the front, but the back wheel you probably need to use the thrusters to adjust. And yeah, that's gonna be a learning process, but the front looks really nice. Absolutely no complaint about that. What they could have done better is use a thicker cloth and put some bendy wire inside. This one is really small, really thin, so bendy wire is not an option. So yeah, Bandai definitely could have done a little bit better on the cape, but they have done a really great job already. So not really anything to complain about. And that's it for the review actually. Articulation and sculpting, other details has already been mentioned in the first part of the review. So for Metal Build Crossbone, I would rate it 8.5 over 10, simply because of the amount of gimmicks and accessories that it had. I really like the details, really nice paint job, because it's got all these different gold accents everywhere throughout his bodies, as well as on the accessory as well. Yeah, these gold accents and the paint scheme is absolutely brilliant. The accessories is ample. Billy was a nice touch. The cape could have been better, that's where it loses marks. But you know, that's plenty for this guy. It's gonna make a really nice piece on your shelf, and I suggest you find a pose, put it on the stands and let it stand there. Installing the cape should be easy enough. The hard part would be to use these adapters to put on the holes on the cape. It's gonna take a little bit of work around on, but after you finish, get a hang of it, it's gonna be pretty worth it. So I'd say Metal Build Crossbone is definitely a great figures to have.